Back to the prelims and back to Michael Williams.
Tonight from the Global Event Center here at WinStar World Casino, Bellator MMA now presents 3 5-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. Introducing the red corner first at 6'2", weighing in 204.9 pounds. His professional record, 8 victories, 3 losses. He fights out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Introducing Ryan McCurdy. And across the cage, his opponent tonight fighting out of the blue corner at 6'5", weighing in 204.4 pounds. Undefeated as a professional, 5 wins, no losses. He fights out of Syracuse, New York, crazy Mike Mucitelli. And the referee in charge of the action, Kerry Hatley.
Here we go now in the light heavyweight division. Ryan McCurdy versus Mike Mucitelli. Our tale of the tape is brought to you by Dave & Buster's. Eat, drink, play, watch sports.
See, Mike Mucitelli is 6'5", taller than Ryan McCurdy, very tall for this weight class. Will that cause McCurdy problems?
Train for you. Ready? Ready? Let's go to work. Come on.
The bell in round number 1. Tonight's fight clock is brought to you by Miller Lite, the official beer of Bellator. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. Closing the distance quickly, Mike Mucitelli. Good turn by McCurdy, turn right back. Bellator debut for Ryan McCurdy. He's in the white trunks. Mike Mucitelli in the black trunks. There's the separation. McCurdy confident with his hands, Jimmy. 2-1 as a pro boxer. He's active in that career. His next boxing comes in December. It's something he wants to do. Mucitelli talked about, don't try to be a knockout fighter. Go back to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Close the distance, work for the takedown.
Still has a bad taste in his mouth from his last fight and no contest in Bellator. Accidental eye poke ended that in Connecticut.
That against Jeff Nader. It's now the 7th pro MMA fight for Mike Mucitelli. 5 victories, no losses, no draws, and that 1 no contest. McCurdy trying to get this in the punching range. Fighters, Jimmy, being very patient thus far. Left hand, then the follow right from Mucitelli. Kick caught.
Now McCurdy, though, not committing to the takedown.
Instead, driving Mucitelli back, wants to keep this standing.
Surprised he didn't just push him away and get distance.
Mucitelli missing with that left hand off balance.
McCurdy staying very tight. Has a lot of respect for the striking Mucitelli.
He's snapping his own jab.
Mucitelli, for his part, also keeping his head moving.
Level change for Mucitelli, driving McCurdy back, and again the turn. 45 remaining, round number 1 of this light heavyweight fight. Ryan McCurdy versus Mike Mucitelli.
Very close first round.
That's a slip from Mucitelli. Very tellingly as to strategy, McCurdy does not pounce, now backs off, tells Mucitelli to stand.
Not surprising, he has faith in his hands, faith in his boxing. Landed a few jabs. Hasn't been able to pull the trigger on that right hand yet, though.
Mucitelli not committing to that kick. Jimmy McCurdy starting to find that left jab, starting to solve the reach advantage of Mike Mucitelli.
Got to push in and throw at the right times. But it's a taller opponent. You can't let him off the hook like that. You can't push in and then back out. Got to throw while you're in range, and he's in range right now.
Clubbing right hand from McCurdy. Now he pounces into the open guard of Mucitelli.
Didn't do that before. He's doing it now because he believes he has Mucitelli hurt.
Trying to step over. Mucitelli looking good with his open guard. McCurdy's had enough of the ground game. Terry Hatley making sure Mucitelli stands. Fighters back to their feet. McCurdy has a strategy. He told us as much. Belief in his boxing, he's sticking to it.
Another good right hand. I don't think it hurt Mucitelli that time, just knocked him off balance, but landed that right yet again.
Bell in the end of round one.
Good job. Think about this one.
Have a seat for me, buddy. Ed, get his mouthpiece, get him some water. All right, just want you to breathe for a minute. Hey, listen, we lost that round, but not by a lot. We lost it. Breathe, but don't worry. I hit the select button and held it down, so we got some juice now. All right, here's what I want you to do. He's jabbing it. You got predictable, okay? Coming in. You got predictable.
Up against the fence, that clubbing right hand around the ear. It took away Mucitelli's balance. Anything around the ear, that's exactly what it does. Your equilibrium goes. That second right hand on the chin, not a ton of power behind it, but caught Mucitelli off balance, put him on the floor.
One thing I think we're seeing, Jimmy, is a real contrast, not just in footwork, but in striking stance. McCurdy out of that pro boxing, that boxing mindset.
Right,
Mucitelli, his striking base is actually capoeira.
Ready? Got round two. Let's go to work.
When he told me that the first time, I thought he made it up, but he actually comes out of capoeira. Not a lot of 6'5" capoeira fighters out of Syracuse, New York.
Yeah, not many. A lot of funky angles, a lot of kicks. A lot of movement a lot of people don't use, so it can be confusing. And McCurdy's dealt with everything very well so far.
Mucitelli's corner between rounds 1 and 2, telling him you lost this round. Do you agree?
I definitely agree. I have a 10-9. Ryan McCurdy, based on that boxing, able to land those right hands, found the range for him at the end of the round.
Mucitelli again trying to take this to the ground. Big sprawl from McCurdy. Mucitelli right to his back, trying to invite McCurdy in, and he comes in.
That was not smart.
Looking for omoplata position now.
Won't get the finish, but he does end up sweeping him back to the feet. Mucitelli's problem is shooting from the outside. It's really easy for McCurdy to see those takedown attempts and stop him.
Apparently they're recognizing that McCurdy wants to allow Mucitelli to stand. This time, it's McCurdy diving in and then backing off for the separation. McCurdy's just not going to play the ground game.
He won't. We saw in Parlo versus Butcher, similar body type, getting thrown to the ground and getting up over and over, man, that's very fatiguing. It was a similar problem for Jason Butcher. I have better jiu-jitsu, but my wrestling just isn't there. It's hard to get a guy down there.
Blood coming out of the nose of Mike Mucitelli. Slight abrasion under McCurdy's right eye. Get caught once again and just pushed off. Different fighter, different strategy. They're catching those kicks and then they're driving for the takedown. Exactly. Not Ryan McCurdy, not tonight.
Especially he's doing well on the feet. He's landing his punches. He's put 2 and 3 together. That's when he's at his best.
See Mucitelli trying to step in. McCurdy stepping right back out of puncher's distance. Left jab from McCurdy. Kick by Mucitelli, just grazing.
Mucitelli's changing it up well now. He needs to get back to his boxing, throw 3 and 4 punches at a time. He's doing well with the jab. He's a good rangefinder. He needs to use it to set up his right hand. That's what he started doing at the end of the first round that was so successful.
Stepping right from McCurdy. We can see Mucitelli, he's trying to step in from outside to inside, then missing with that kick, but trying to throw a lot of 1-2 stepping in.
But he's got to get busier. He's letting the second round slip away. Mucitelli hasn't landed anything big, but he's been more active, landed a few kicks.
That's in the step of McCurdy. You see Mucitelli stepping in with the body kick. Final minute now, round number 2. Mucitelli, Jimmy, no longer seems to be trying to get Ryan McCurdy to the ground. Content to try to win this fight standing. At least trying to win round number 2 standing.
I think he is right now. It's a close round, but Mucitelli's just been busier. Mucitelli's corner telling him that McCurdy is hurt.
Good body kick there by Mucitelli.
I don't know if he's hurt or just tired. He's taking some big breaths right now.
Caught again. Mucitelli to the thigh plum, and that lands. Not much between these two fighters thus far. Ryan McCurdy versus Mike Mucitelli. We'll go to the 3rd and final round.
Sit down. Awesome round. We're 1 apiece. Sit.
To
Hey,
the
buddy.
corner of Mike Mucitelli.
Hey, who loves you? Here, listen. You heard him. Listen, it's a war now. Who wants it more, okay?
Me?
Yes, listen to me. He's leaning over for...
All right, this is what we're gonna do. My head. You got this, all right?
And into the corner of Ryan McCurdy.
Control the breathing. Reset when you need to reset. Into your nose, out your mouth. Control your breathing. You need to capitalize on this combination.
Catch your breath now. Get your breath.
Last 2 uppercut. You know, double up on those punches.
Kicks in the 2nd round. Now this is what McCurdy has done well throughout the fight. Catching the kick, pushing it back. But in the 2nd round, Mucitelli landing a lot of those kicks effectively and using them to set up his punches.
All right, here we go. Last round. Let's go. Ready?
Mucitelli trying to get the crowd behind him. Great show of sportsmanship as we start this 3rd and final round. What do you think, Jimmy?
I have it all tied up. I gave Mucitelli the last round 10-9. I gave the first round to Ryan McCurdy 10-9.
Mucitelli trying to land the standing elbow. McCurdy backing off. I think it's been McCurdy's striking game. In with the flying knee, but he's been in, out, in, out. Catching the kick again.
What he needs to do is when he finds the range, land punches, land 3-4 punches.
Good jabs from McCurdy in sequence.
McCurdy's did a good job of catching Mucitelli's kick. The problem for Mucitelli is he doesn't think he can win a boxing match. He's trying to make it unorthodox. Kick on the outside, knee and elbow on the inside, keep it out of punching range.
That kick not getting through from Mucitelli. Good upper cut. left jab from Mucitelli.
McCurdy's output has really slowed after the first round. Mucitelli, I think, pushing the pace. McCurdy seems tired. Take the heart right out of him. Nice right hand.
McCurdy's right eye looking progressively worse as this fight continues. Blood continuing to trickle out of Mucitelli's nose, trying to walk down McCurdy. Side kick from Ryan McCurdy. Another powerful outside kick. With fighter center of the Bellator cage. Jump knee, a miss, and a miss to counter by Mucitelli.
You see, they look like kind of like they're jousting. Both guys fighting in spurts, coming at one another, and then separating again. Someone's got to break that cycle, that pattern, take the other one by surprise.
I like that analogy.
It's true. You see, they break off, and they come at each other, and then they break off again. Someone has to, you know, change that pattern, throw 3 or 4, 5, 6 combo, get the guy when he doesn't expect it. When two fighters set a rhythm, the guy who breaks that rhythm is the one that's successful.
Left hand from McCurdy. Mucitelli can't land that overhand right.
Yeah, he is tired.
Both fighters showing the effects of each other's striking on their respective faces. McCurdy now cut on the bridge of his nose. $15 remaining in this light heavyweight fight. Mucitelli looking for the tie plum in vain. Step in with the lead left hook. Good inside left by McCurdy.
McCurdy had this fight in the opening round, but has let it slip away in rounds 2 and 3. He needs to really turn it on this last 30 seconds. Whatever these guys have left, they have to throw it now. Very close fight.
Kick caught again. You see McCurdy kicking out the plant leg of Mucitelli. And he won't go into Mucitelli's guard. McCurdy allowing Mucitelli to stand. We saw a lot of that in round 1. Final seconds now of this fight. That's the end of 15 minutes. Very, very close. Both fighters raising their arms. Our fight replay brought to you by Rise, Son of Rome, only on Xbox One.
Right hand by Mucitelli. He just changed up his striking, got busier in rounds 2 and 3. Really turned the tide of that fight, in my opinion. Takedown by Ryan McCurdy at the end. I don't think it was enough to win back that 3rd round.
So interesting in implementation of strategy. McCurdy said, look, I'm the better boxer, I'm a pro boxer, I think I can win this with my punches. Mucitelli said, I want to focus on my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, get it to the ground, but McCurdy was just not going to play that.
Was not going to play it. So Mucitelli did what good fighters do. He changed his strategy around, made it more about kicking, some unorthodox strikes, and also kept the pace up on a tiring Ryan McCurdy. I think that was the difference in the fight.
Great point. Mucitelli couldn't find plan A, going to plan B. So who wins this for you?
To me, 29-28 for Mike Mucitelli. I gave him rounds 2 and 3.
Michael Williams is in the Bellator cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance inside the Bellator cage, we'll go to your judges' scorecards. All three judges, Don Turnage, Dan Mathieson, and Jacob Montalvo, all see the fight the same at 29-28, all for the winner by unanimous decision. He's still undefeated, crazy Mike Mucitelli.
Ryan McCurdy from here in Oklahoma. Maybe a big reason for the boos, but it's Mike Mucitelli getting the victory, Jimmy.
Yeah, I agree with that. Thought he took rounds 2 and 3. Showed better gas and a lot of intensity in those last rounds.
Mike Mucitelli smartly going to plan B, now 6-0 in his pro MMA career.